So, hi there, everyone. We're once again here for the Playbook series with Dr. Pramod Tripathi. Oh my God, I have been waiting to interview Dr. Pramod Tripathi for ages. I mean, legend. He's a legendary, and I'm really excited, super excited to bring to you today a different level of entrepreneur, an entrepreneur who went on the path of medical school and then went on to sales and then went on to business and having a huge impact on people's lives and people's personal benefits. So let's welcome a huge welcome to you, Dr. Pramod Tripathi. We are
Thank you, Ji.
so excited.
Hearty welcome to all those who are watching. So, yeah, looking forward.
Yeah, we're really happy that you could make it in such a short period of time. So really, we're very grateful to this. So just to get on to, for the benefit of all the viewers, I would like to say that Dr. Pramod Tripathi has runs an organization which is a Freedom from Diabetes organization, and I would leave you to listen it from the man himself on what his purposes, how he started with it, but we'll go through that. But just let's understand what really Dr. Pramod Tripathi does at FFD, as he calls it.
Yeah, so at FFD, we work with diabetics and those with related disorders, those who have hypertension or obesity or high cholesterol, and try to be with them for a 1 year time, because I find that's a bare minimum time for them to make changes in their diet, exercise, behaviors, go through all the changes that happen during a year, be it festivals, be it marriages, be it travel.
Wow. So be a part of all that, right?
Be a part of all that change. Be a part of sometimes COVID happens, infections happen, stresses mount up in the family or work. So I find basically it's a lifestyle, comprehensive lifestyle program, which includes the doctor, diet expert, exercise expert, psychologist, and the works. And the intention is that they create a sustainable shift in them. They become free of medications. As of now, 13,500 people are free of medications.
Wow.
Okay, and around 4 lakh kgs of weight is off this earth.
Wow.
Documented, and national conferences, international conferences, our papers are published and presented. So that's the whole broad thing that we do. And there's only one goal in this whole affair, and that is to get 100,000 diabetics free of medications.
Wow. 100,000.
100,000.
By?
So in 2013, I was very optimistic that by 2020, we'll get 1 lakh people free. But then I realized that human behavior, especially since we stay with a family, doesn't change so easily by announcing only once that, okay, this is what you're supposed to do and this is what you're not supposed to do. It doesn't work that way. So it took us a long time. So by now, we've got 13,500 people free. We are hoping by 2025, okay, we're able to get double the number, and let's say maybe by 2030, get the whole engine and process properly done so that we can get 100,000 people free.
Wow, that's a real. And since it is diabetes reversal in India with so much of food options available,
Yes.
It gets so difficult.
Yes.
And so many festivities. I mean, that is really...
Yeah, all the comfort foods which come with all the items that your mother, your grandmother served you since childhood, with all the festivals and the marriages and the travel options for Indians and of course everyone across the world, it does become quite challenging to sustain a reverse state.
So 13,000 reversals, not just impacted lives.
Yeah, 30,000+ people have reversed and 13,500 are free.
Are free?
Yes.
Oh my God. So they are absolutely free from diabetes.
Yeah, they're free from medications.
Oh, I didn't believe ever that this disease could ever be, anyone could be free of this. So 13,000, that's a big impact. I really think Dr. Pramod Tripathi, you're doing a great job for lives of people. It's a life-threatening disease. As they say, it's a slow killer.
Oh yes. So, we see the impact of it with our patients regularly. Even those who've been through programs in 2013, 14, 15, we do see the effects. Those who don't take care properly, what happens to their bodies.
Absolutely.
It's not something good.
Absolutely. And I'm thinking now, so for the benefit of our viewers are mostly business owners, are doctors who are looking to open up their own businesses and entrepreneurship. So for them, I really want them to understand your journey, in the sense that you went to the most prestigious college of BJ Medical College of India, and people have gone all over the world to do many things from that college. And the very thing, the next year after finishing your MBBS, you went on to do Symbiosis Business School, which is another prestigious. So you were very focused on treading onto your path of entrepreneurship from day one. So what was your thought at that point of time?
So the word entrepreneur was not known to me that time. Okay. And nor was it very clear that I will be having like a big organization. What I did was I just followed my heart, and my heart said I can't be a medicine dispenser. Okay. I cannot be just keep writing medications or doing surgeries. I need to do something which is more holistic. So it was just that thought which made me feel that, okay, health management, stress management would be something interesting. And as we were discussing before, I was reading on Deepak Chopra and Wayne Dyer and Dr. Bernie Siegel and all of that. It sounded very exciting that, okay, allopathy is doing its work, but let me focus on generic health management, which is not just kind of looking at medications for disease, but uplifting the overall health, and it's sustainable for a longer period of time. So that was the basic thought. Diabetes wasn't clear that time.
Yeah.
Because it happened over a period of time.
Yeah. So I'm thinking that when you said a holistic approach, you also mentioned in our discussion earlier that it was not just about medicines. You went down to sales, you went down to learning how to create trainings, trained more than 1,000 trainers yourself for a medical practitioner. I do not know anybody on the planet who has done this. So really, how did you enjoy the journey? Did something push you?
Crazy. It was crazy. Look, the kick in my life is seeing how does human behavior change.
Okay.
And how we can influence it, because it's one of the most complex things to be solved.
Yeah.
I feel giving medication is easy.
Absolutely.
But making a change in human behavior is challenging, very, very challenging. So after medicine, MBA, working with GE medical system in sales, trying to get a feel of, the way one goes about connecting with people, building confidence and all of that. Then the training journey for almost 12 years, 6 years dedicated with an organization, was very insightful for me to find mistakes in designs and programs and how things work, how things don't work. Because now what we have as a 1-year program, that's taken us 5 years to create.
Absolutely.
From 2013 to 2017, 18. We tried a 3-week, 12 week, which is a 3-month program. Then we tried to do a 4-month, 6 months. But then we realized it has to be Diwali to Diwali. It has to be New Year's to New Year's. It has to be from, Christmas to Christmas, whatever. It needs to be there so that people can go through all the ups and downs, and a team is supporting them during that time so that they can actually make adjustments in their diet, their exercise, their medications, their stress, everything. And then they feel okay, comfortable that, we can sustain it by ourselves.
Yeah.
So it's taken a while, 5 years to create that. And the journey continues. It's not that we are arrived and we know everything in it. We are still learning how to influence the change, and that's helping us to improve the percentage of people who are becoming free in every batch. The protocols are evolving, diet protocol is evolving. What we were teaching, let's say 9 years back, is much upgraded now. Same goes for exercise. Same goes for the psychology part. Same goes for the medical and supplements. There's so much happening in the world that we continue to absorb and learn all the time. And we've got very complex and elaborate protocols. It's very difficult for any one person to understand the whole program also, which is there for the full year.
Really?
It's very difficult. Very, very difficult, because there's so many things that are done. Right from stress release for 3 months, to law of attraction, to working with the unconscious, raising vibrational frequencies, to, diet exercise is obviously there. But what we also realize is one diet doesn't work for a long time, and the same diet cannot work for everyone. So there's no diet which is universal. no diet which is eternal. Same goes for
Beautiful.
exercise. You can't have the same exercise for everyone. Otherwise, everybody would have been okay with a 45-minute walk by now. But they are not.
They're not.
They are not. So how do we keep changing them for handling bigger audiences and use a blended approach where there is education and inspiration at a group level and a very direct one-to-one support from a team which is a pod kind of a team which works with you directly. And that has delivered a lot of results.
So you said that when you say one-on-one team, so you have 5 aspects, right, that work. The
psychologist, diet, exercise, and the medical. These 4 are the main people who work with a participant. Plus, there's an admin assistant. He's called a monitor. And there are mentors who are past participants who motivate in the beginning, first 2-3 months. And after 3 months, there are local clubs. And we've got 87 clubs as of now in around 14 countries. So clubs are formed by past participants. So, you know, that whole engine whereby I can be in touch with people who are local, like you're from Dubai. So there's a huge clout in Dubai of people following, and then a certain percentage follow fully. Okay. And there's a certain percentage who become part of clubs. And then whoever are newer people, we call them local heroes and superheroes. So heroes are the people who have done 108 Surya Namaskaras or 10K running or 25K cycling.
So you're gamifying it also. You're rewarding them, giving them certificates or some sort of thing. That's super cool. Yeah.
And I do monthly 108 Surya Namaskaras with everyone across the world of our past participants once a month.
Once a month.
Once a month.
That's cool. Yeah.
So that way, how do we bring in sustainability, energy, motivation, which is one of the most complex pieces. So we keep learning on that continuously and adapting, which is great joy. So every day in life is like a lot of things happening.
Absolutely. My God, I don't know one person making such a complex program, a holistic, because human existence itself is so complicated. So you're taking care of for the mind, you're taking care of the things that they breathe in, they eat, they sense, everything. I mean, and you've created a full package that's really, really amazing. I'm just wondering, how did you come up with just diabetes? Or are you even thinking of branching out to something else later on in life, like, I don't know, cardiology or something of that sort? Or does diabetes really bring in everything?
Diabetes is very close to my heart, and it also makes a lot of practical sense because people are on insulin injections, which is extremely painful and financially damaging, and socially also quite traumatic. They're on medications which cost a lot. So for them to invest a certain amount of money to get rid of that insulin medicine becomes a very easy decision, correct? And they benefit from that. So diabetics, as a practical level, this makes sense. At a deeper level, they go through a lot of complications later, which they get saved by. So there are many reasons why diabetes is close to my heart. So we'll continue being focused on 1 lakh.
1 lakh.
People
That's
becoming
your niche.
free. That's my only purpose.
Only purpose and
of
only niche.
Existence that way, you know.
Yes.
But what happens is, and it started happening early on, we would have husband diabetic, wife overweight or obese, or wife thyroid, or wife diabetic, husband having high blood pressure. And then we realized over a period of time, it's all about high insulin levels. It's about insulin resistance.
Absolutely.
And every family, literally, you know, you were saying, you just have to turn your head and you get a diabetic. So every family has a diabetic. Every family has a hypertensive or an overweight person. So people wanted something similar. They don't want a different diet. You know, they can't cook two meals for diabetic different and obese different and all that. So we have a full-blown non-diabetic package also in place. That's around 20% of our work. So weight loss part is something we have gone big on, and it will improve and grow over a period of time further. So that's the other thing we'll do. Cardiology, again, what happens for cardiology is you have to see the angiography scan again. So it becomes very cumbersome. Here you can check the sugars daily. You can watch the weight every day. You can check your medical test every 3 months. So the motivation, the biggest motivation for people is results.
Yes.
So if you're getting the results and you can measure the results and see it tangibly on the, you know, blood work or your weight or your looks, then it's much more faster. So cancer will also come to my mind. I did read quite a few books on cancer. I said it's a very different
Very
ball game.
different
Very
ball
different
game.
ball game.
Yeah.
Focus
Yeah.
on one.
One,
Power
yeah.
of one. Power of one.
Power. That's one thing that I really tell in my coaching also. Power of one always works well for your business. So Dr. Pramod Tripathi himself, like I keep saying that you need to really get your customers or prospects focused onto your one minimum viable product on which you leverage on. And so Dr. Pramod Tripathi has got his one program, which is called a 12-month or 9-month program.
Yeah, it's a 12-month program, 1-year program. It's called the Holistic Transformation Program.
Beautiful.
So our company name says it all, freedom from diabetes. You're getting free from medications, and people also, by the way, consume 15 teaspoons of glucose as a test and check whether they're able to handle it.
Oh, so, wow.
Yeah. And there's a training for that, which goes on in the part of the 1-year program.
Yeah.
So that's the main or kind of brand pull, if you want to call it, freedom from diabetes. And the main program is the Holistic Transformation Program. Yeah. And those who want to enter it, they have got an entry orientation program called as a Discover Reversal session, which is for a couple of hours.
Okay.
And there we give a lot of details on the deeper causes and why you should spend longer time on each of the causes, because it's not like a quick fix.
Yes.
Okay. And then they get an idea of that. And then those who want to be a part of the 1-year program can be a part of that. So 5% of our work is in terms of the overall revenues, since it's business entrepreneurship. So overall revenues, if you look at, 90% of them will come from the 1-year program. 5% will come from the Discover Reversal, and 5% will come from a residential program. We've got a nice residential program running in which almost people from 45, 50 countries have come. They want to come and see and feel how it is to be done. They come and stay with us for 7 days.
Oh, nice.
8 days, 7 nights.
Okay.
So small percentage. They come and they get a live experience of things. The design of that program is also very crazy because my main strength is designing.
Right.
Designing a powerful program which will give results.
Nice. This is really great. So you have a great program, you've got a great product, and you've got a niche of diabetes. Doesn't that make it easy for you to focus and get results faster and keep people satisfied? Isn't that the reason why you chose it like that, than going everywhere and becoming a generalist?
Very true, very true. It's like when initial days, I thought of health and stress management, and we are at my Prabhat Road Deccan Gymkhana Clinic. You see the Freedom from Diabetes board right now.
Absolutely.
So around 10 years back, not 10 years, let's say 12 years back, there was a board outside, Dr. Pramod Tripathi, health and stress management specialist.
Okay.
And then I saw divorce cases coming, 10th standard student coming with exam anxiety, somebody with irritable bowel coming. I said, I'm not geared up to handle so many crazy variety of people.
Yeah.
I need to be focused on one. And then I apply everything in that. I apply the diet, the exercise, the psychology, the stress release, everything to one thing. And I want the audience to also realize that this is not an easy thing to handle. Diabetes with a family history, with family members and their own anxieties and worries, it's not easy to handle. We are still learning, in the sense that we've got a great program, great results, but we have to keep learning.
Yeah, there can be some surprises somewhere. Yeah. So that's really great, Dr. Tripathi, that it has to be so complex. You have got to learn more about every day is a new invention. You never know. Has it been, do you think it's a very safe way? Is one of the things that audiences also would like to know. We are looking at audiences in Dubai, India, everywhere. Is your program a safe way to get onto this diabetes reversal, or have you had something which is not health-wise, I'm saying?
Yeah, everything is monitored medically. Okay, from the lab reports to daily sugars, and as you keep reporting daily, the doses get adjusted. So safety is inbuilt into the program.
Okay.
So safety has never been an issue.
Never been an issue.
Never been an issue. Right. Because you are monitoring very closely. Like all our doctors also work on Sundays.
Beautiful.
Since 9 years, they work on Sundays also.
Wow.
Because the way the app is designed is that in a minute, a doctor can see minimum 3 patients, and if he's fast, can see 5 to 6 patients.
Wow.
And look at the sugars, look at the doses, if needed, adjust them and come out of that.
Yeah.
So a person can just work for 15-20 minutes and can finish a lot of work on a holiday also.
Wow.
And that is needed for the patients, especially in the first 2-3 months when their diets are being changed dramatically. There is fasting, there is juices, a lot of things are being done at that particular point of time.
Right.
So safety is very much built in.
Safety is so it's all taken care of. And when Dr. Pramod Tripathi is saying that there are doctors working on a Sunday, he's got currently 172 full-time employees who are nutritionists, doctors, psychotherapists, psychologists, and you name it, right? Am I correct?
Yeah, exercise experts,
physiotherapists. So I think everyone is really well taken care of to that extent. So the program is completely ready. The support system is fully in place. All that is covered. And then now, for the sake of business owners, I just want to know that when it comes to marketing, because he's also learned sales, he's also learned training designing, and now he's done his marketing funnel, which is very good. He does place paid ads, all that stuff, but he's got a very, very interesting way of marketing and creating awareness, and that's through webinars.
Correct.
So just tell us about how does it work for you in terms of getting your clients through webinars? How has it been? Just a little bit more on that.
Yeah. So initially,
sorry, also just to say that how video is important and how creating webinars is important for you to get your patients, even though it's a foolproof system. You still have to do a lot of videos, you still have to do a lot of webinars to create the awareness and get the trust at that level.
Correct.
Yeah.
So again, historically, if you look at 2013, there's a mindset which happens in every entrepreneur. And my mindset that time was, if you want to commit 12 weeks, then join. If you don't want to commit, then don't join. Okay. And that would restrict the flow of people, because everyone doesn't want to commit immediately for a 12 week, for anything for that matter. Okay. And then it took me 1 year to learn that, and then have an introductory program. Okay, come for 4 hours, have lunch with me. Okay, learn the tricks and trades of how reversal happens. If you like the whole thing, come for the 12 week.
Okay.
I'll help you out. Okay. So that's how we did. But that was all physical.
Mm-hmm.
Actual, we used to hire
halls. Scalability wasn't there also.
Correct. We used to hire big halls, and the whole office staff used to be there, and all that. Then I realized that, okay, this is fine, but then there's a trickle effect. So we started having a small physical also, which was like in the office, or like in this room, there were 35 people sitting at one point of time.
Wow.
35
really?
People. You can't believe it. But that time the library wasn't there, and all these tables were not, which is fixed. So 35 people were sitting, standing, this kind of room. So we tried to do that for a few years. And by, I think, 2016 or so, audio webinars started. We didn't go into video
webinar.
Maybe 2015 we started with audio webinars, and the PPT was shown, so they could see the PPT, and I'll take them through the PPT without my video. It was all audio, and that went on for maybe a couple of years, and numbers were small, very, very small. And then by 2018-19 is when we said, okay, now let's scale up, because what was happening that till that time, our 1 year program was, it took 5 years to stabilize that, and we used to run it after every 3 months, because as an organization, we were not ready to have it every month. And 2018 onwards, we said, okay, let's run it every month.
Okay.
And then we said, okay, let's scale up some more, and we use TV, radio, all of that. But then what worked was, again, Google, YouTube, and Facebook. And then we said, okay, let's have a full video webinar. And full video webinar started from 2018 or 19 onwards. And then there would be 4 of them every month, 2 Hindi, 2 English. Maybe sometimes we did a Marathi one also, because we are from Pune. Okay. And then see if we could get the relevant, required number of people, so that they are in the system, and, all the people who are there hired, who can have adequate work to kind of take care of it. So that's how the thing evolved over a period of time. And now it's functioning pretty well.
Yeah.
We get almost 3,000 plus people.
Wow.
Every month for 4 webinars.
Nice.
Okay, and we use Google, Facebook, YouTube. But let me be very candid over here, which I was telling her also. The organization is sustaining not because of Google, YouTube, and
Ads.
Facebook. It's sustaining only because of past participant referrals.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
50% of the people who come into the programs are coming from past participant referrals.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And without that, it's impossible.
Impossible.
It's impossible to have a sustainable
Yeah.
model.
I
Okay.
so agree with
And we spend a lot of time improving the programs, protocols, process, taking care of their queries and complaints and everything that they are going through, and have a very powerful NPS score. So we've got, and if people are not aware of it, you should have at an organization level something called as NPS, Net Promoter Score. Take a rating from 0 to 10 as to how do they find your services for different categories. And now we started touching the 70% mark, which is like super duper positive score, and have very strong values in the organization. We've got 5 values and everyone kind of knows about it. We are a great place to work, certified. And these things become extremely important because the culture of the organization, the positivity of the people is what is going to rub on to the participants. Okay, so Google, Facebook, YouTube, thank you very, very much wherever you are. But bigger thanks goes to the past participants and current participants who are benefiting, and who then tell their relatives and friends. Word of mouth. We all know word of mouth is the strongest referral.
Absolutely.
And that has been very
And
powerful.
the word of mouth will never be a sustainable thing unless you have a spot on delivery model. So your delivery model itself, you've worked so hard on it so that, it satisfies the customers or patients in your case, and then they come back and they give you. So what most business owners do is they only bank on referrals. So, and then they do not do the other part, what you are doing.
Correct.
So, and they bank on referrals without probably not having a very spot on.
And I have a very tricky thing over there for all those business owners. They feel very proud about it. Our business comes through referrals.
Yes.
They always say with a big pumped up chest, and I used to do the same thing. And, our work is so good that, people refer us. It's always nice to say that.
Yeah.
But yes, it's great to do great work. But what if the great work is happening in one tiddly piddly corner of the world and many people are not benefiting? If you have a good product, if you got a good service, why not?
Yeah.
Why not make it loud? Why not many more people benefit from it?
And why not have a sustainable engine running on the side while your referrals is still happening?
Correct.
You need a sustainable. Referrals is not a consistent thing, while the engine is a consistent thing. So I think you must have benefited. You were ahead of the game even when COVID came in.
Oh yes, and COVID actually multiplied our work 3 times. 3 times.
That's it. Yeah.
Because people are more scared, and diabetics were more scared. There was mucormycosis scare, and people just became more aware of immunity and started taking their health more seriously. And for whatever reasons, not the best of the reasons, and many people suffered also. But our work just took off 3 times. Of course, the flip side is after COVID went away, we budgeted by having more investments and more technology and more people. And then there's a post-COVID corrections also that have happened, and that's how you keep learning.
Yeah, that's a learning curve. So this is a whole thing. I think it's very good. The one question that comes to my mind is, you also have used systems and tools. Like, okay, for the ads, you've used those. But is there any automation that you're using for the benefit of your patients right now? Do you believe in automation in the first place? And why? And what have you done?
Yeah, so I find automation, of course, is a necessity. It's a need, and one must do it. And if you want to scale, so there's no 2 ways about it. But the human element behind the automation is the most tricky and interesting part. Okay, so we started using, let's say we were discussing earlier, in 2013, WhatsApp had newly come in, and whatever small groups of batches we had of 7 people, 10 people, 15 people, I used to put them on WhatsApp immediately, and I would start motivating them, ask them to send their sugars, send their diet plates. What are you eating? Please put the plate onto the group, and start commenting on that so that other people learn from it. And now we have almost a dozen WhatsApp group managers.
Wow.
So WhatsApp has been a part of our business growth.
Beautiful.
And I really thank WhatsApp big time because
Really?
it helped us to create a group energy. Okay. We tried to replace WhatsApp in 2016-17 through our own app. So we also had a FFD app. We still have it, which is a very important tool for the patient to communicate with the doctor, diet expert, exercise expert, send the sugar levels, and get the doses adjusted quickly so that they don't have to pick up the call and talk. It's like you put your sugar levels and your dose is adjusted within a few minutes or a couple of hours, so you know what you're supposed to take in the evening or what you're supposed to take tomorrow. So we do use a lot of app in the phone. Our whole CRM talks with the app, and the doctor, as I mentioned, the main goal was that doctor should be able to handle 3 to 6 patients within a minute. So sometimes they want to refer to the history. Does he have a cardiac problem? Has he undergone angioplasty? Does he have a kidney problem? So from the app, they need to have a preview of the entire patient history also quickly. Plus, they need to know what other people have talked. What did the diet expert talk? What did the exercise expert talk? What have I talked? So they have to log in all the details, and there's a follow-up tracker inside it. So there are a lot of things inside the FFD app which there are inbuilt and customized over a period of time. And again, technology part, we keep learning that, okay, this was good. Like we use Ruby on Rails and I don't know, some other things. And now we need to move to Flutter and, some other tech platforms which are more universal. So a lot of investments have gone in technology. A lot of money has gone down the drain also.
Yes.
Because one thing I remember that Dr. Mukesh Batraji told me that when you're the first one, then the cost of learning is very high. Cost of learning is very high. So I still remember, we shifted from the first tech vendor to the second tech vendor. And, at that time, 25 lakhs was huge for us. Okay. It just went down the drain. We wasted 1.5 years and we got something which was not what we wanted. So there are a lot of learnings on the way. But I think WhatsApp, you're having your own app, having your own CRM, which talks with the app, where your employees can work on it, where, and that platform is created is a must thing.
Yeah.
Now a lot more automation is coming in webinar. Okay. And now even Zoho CRM and other things are there which we are adapting to. Growing in it, like even calling, there's a lot of automation in calling now. Because they have to call through services, and so they can record, and the calls are recorded and you can use it for training, and there's so many things involved in that particular domain also. So we've implemented all of that.
Yeah.
And just continue to learn. We have to learn.
That's so beautiful. I think I can't see any aspect where I can catch you where you've not done in business, which an entrepreneur should be doing, Dr.
No, there might be something. There has to be something. There has to be something.
There has to be something, and I'm sure there will be. But on a generalist, on an overarching thing, I think you're spot on every aspect, especially from the business coaching experience that I come from, and I see business owners have an I know syndrome, or they have the lazy syndrome. I don't want to do it. It's okay, chalta hai kaam. All that is not happening here, and it's
no.
It's all.
We have crazy agility over here.
Yeah,
and a lot of crazy innovation over here.
Yeah.
That's why there are a lot of people who try to copy also.
Yes.
And we feel it's nice. Copy is a nice way of flattery or whatever that you are doing well. But it's become very difficult because our protocols are complex, our understanding is deep, and the whole engine is, and the passion, and it's difficult to copy as such. But yeah, it's welcome anybody who wants to take up, because there are a lot of diabetics suffering out there. So
absolutely. Absolutely. And so with all this that you've had as an experience, I would just like you to give some advice to our working professionals who are doctors, and also to entrepreneurs, what kind of mindset they should have, and if they should really go and build that sense of purpose that you have built, and how can they get successful towards it? So what is your piece of advice that you would like to give them?
So what I've also found is like participants, there's no one diabetic. Okay. You might have the word diabetes, but there are people with different issues. Some people are obese, some people are not obese, some people have a lot of stress. Some people have many things. So entrepreneurship also, I find something like that. There's no one thing. Okay. Of course, there are certain rules and guidelines which help. The way we have a 1-year program, but it'll be modified for the obese versus the underweight to the stressed person. But certain guidelines work. Okay. And they are useful. At the same time, there's a uniqueness and individuality of every person. Okay. And can the system respect that and adapt to that is what we are learning. So my advice for entrepreneurship is going to come purely from the way I am as a human being. It may not be applicable for everyone to the same extent, because each one of you may be unique, and you are unique. Each one of us is unique. Okay.
Yeah.
So what worked for me was having a very clear goal and a purpose. Okay. Money always came second, and it continues to be the same as of now also. Uh, and learning and agility was something that was built into the system earlier on, because we are dealing with something extremely complex. It's not just diabetes, it's the whole family, it's the culture, it's so many things involved. Okay. So if you are wanting to be successful as an entrepreneur, I would say basically whatever is the main goal internally for you, please locate that, because that's worked for me.
Absolutely.
Okay. If you're entering entrepreneurship out of boredom from medicine, okay, I can tell you it may not work.
Absolutely.
It may not work. There are enough number of doctors who are very good individual contributors and doing great work, and who try their hands at entrepreneurship and they say it's not working for us.
Absolutely.
Because they're not having a deeper goal in that whole journey.
Yeah.
Okay. So let it be a goal is something which really uplifts you. Okay. Which you aspire for, which actually draws energy, because I find the work of energy is extremely important. Somebody entering entrepreneurship purely from a finance purpose is also fine. There's nothing wrong about it. But then this may not be applicable to so much, but it's applicable to me. The role of energy is huge in this whole affair. Learning energy, continuing to grow at an individual level also, and continuing to upgrade the program, okay, is very, very crucial. And then when it comes to learning, you learn about technology, you learn about branding, you learn about power of one, you learn about specific is terrific, you learn so many more things. You can keep learning, applying that, and there are going to be ups and downs. There'll be crazy ups and downs. You just enjoy the journey, because there's nothing more satisfying than learning, personally for me, as an entrepreneur. Okay. And that involves a lot of unlearning for me. Like, for example, I do see the whole organization as a manifestation of who I am.
Yes.
So the positives in me are reflecting in the organization, and my own inefficiencies, or let's say whatever I'm weak at, is reflecting in the organization also. Okay. It all is an extension of who you are. So if you can take that itself as a learning ground and keep working on yourself, you can start working on the organization more and more. And yes, do hire consultants, do hire experts. And I had learning over there also. Like, there were certain experts, business consultants, branding consultants, all kinds of consultants. And then we would carry certain consultants for a longer period of time than what was relevant. We would burn money also in the process. So I learned that you need to hire consultants for a certain time period till their wisdom is kind of seen in action. And then you have to do it your
own way.
You have to do it your own way. There's no other way. You have to roll up your sleeves and make your hands greasy and work with the exact thing that the person is talking on the phone to what is going as a script in the email. You have to do it to a certain degree. Of course, you build managers, you build teams and all of that, and each manager will take to different levels of delegation that you can go to, and you need to keep rebuilding and focusing on teams, because that's a very, very crucial piece at any organizational level. Like, you're as strong as your weakest link. We keep hearing that, but when it hits you, you understand that at an organizational level. So you keep working on taking in good people, growing them in-house, training a lot of them from grassroots, because they understand your culture. Okay. And culture is something which is very difficult to kind of just borrow from outside. So we try to hire a lot of senior people from outside. It's not really worked very well. Maybe we are still small at 170 people. The moment we become 1,000 and 5,000, we would require a lot more of that, and we are ready for that. But when you're consolidating from an individual person to a 10-member to a 100-member team, I think paying attention to a lot of that is crucial. And then knowing when to delegate and when to micromanage and so many things, and when not to. It's just an endless crazy journey which we need to keep taking.
Yeah, absolutely. But there's so much to learn from Dr. Pramod Tripathi. And if I have to really summarize this whole thing, for all business owners, a big shout out for you all there for doing such an amazing work. And what Dr. Pramod Tripathi has said is a sense of purpose. So the transparency, because your authenticity, your sense of purpose is going to get you to where you have to go. Money, as Dr. Tripathi said, is going to be secondary. It'll come in. But first you need to focus on what's your sense of purpose, why you're doing what you're doing, and then getting out there and playing the game. The next thing I want to say is, if a doctor from medical background has taken so much of agility, as he says, and he still is continuing to look and sustain that agility, and looking at him, I don't think he's going to stop at the next 30 years in this agility game, whether it comes to culture building, whether it comes to team hiring, having the team delegation part, whether it comes to creating that super niche, narrowed down product line, which is his diabetes reversal product, freedom from diabetes product, and then looking at creating an automation system where people can access things at a finger click, and then going on innovating things. So all of this, and also looking at marketing, and also going out and selling on the webinars. I mean, that is a whole lot of things as a journey to learn. And that is what business is about. If Dr. Pramod Tripathi can do it, you can do it. If you can do it, the whole world can change. And that's what this whole thing is about. So I would really like to tell you that you can attend Dr. Pramod Tripathi's webinar. Please just Google Dr. Pramod Tripathi and you can just attend it for the benefit of your family, for yourself. And if you want to learn this whole process of how to build a minimum viable product, how to build cultures, delegate teams to get the accountability and results for yourself, and also do a complete business health checkup for yourself, then join my next upcoming webinar by clicking on the link below, and then you're going to be there. And we're going to be calling Dr. Pramod Tripathi for one of our webinars as a guest and so on. So let's keep enjoying, let's keep thriving. And entrepreneurship is such a hard road, I have to say. But you know what? Your project might fail, your business might fail, but entrepreneurship never fails. So keep at it, and see you in the next Playbook series. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Pramod Tripathi. It was a pleasure having you. And thank you so much for your message to our viewers. Really appreciate it.